We're going to take the North and never give it back.
So that's a good pick. You get the corner. I got to go bold, right? I got to go bold for this.
Yeah, she's got some nice long
Welcome back to the Unbearable Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Barron. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're out there on YouTube. And also, always rate the show 5 stars everywhere that you get your podcast. What is going on? Bears win. Great game for us, and I can't wait to break this down. So for those out on YouTube, make sure to check us out tomorrow. We'll be breaking down the offense and the defense. I'll probably do 2 separate live sessions just so that we have the offense on one recording and defense on the other, just so that we have that, so we don't have a full 3 hours. Instead, you can just kind of pick and choose which film breakdown you'd like to see. But we were talking about this in the preview, and we said this game is going to be either one that we go that right now where they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they got beat by the Jaguars. We weren't able to do what we wanted to do, or we're going to be excited. And today is one of those excitement days for sure. Shy Drax, what's good, my friend? It was a great game, right? Like, it was so much fun to watch. I can't wait to watch it again and again and again. It's one of those where, like, every time that we have these Bear games, I always like to just rewatch them in the offseason just because I'm a diehard Bears fan, obviously, hence the show. So as a diehard Bears fan, it's great when you get games like this, because also I know some people out there might say, you know what, it was against the Jacksonville Jaguars who were 1-4, but I don't think a lot of people really add in what people were thinking about this game. This game started basically as Bears -3 as like 3-point favorites. Then what happened to the line? It shifts all the way over into Jacksonville's favor. I heard from multiple like professional sports bettors that they were like, oh, their best bet was the Jacksonville Jaguars this game. And what did the Bears do? They came in and stomped the Jags 35-16. 35-16. Great game by the Chicago Bears. And yet again, the thing to just keep getting excited about is we talked about it with having a rookie quarterback and just having him progressively get better and better and better. And that's really what we're seeing out there is we're seeing Caleb play better. We're seeing this defense play that top 10 level that we were really hoping that they would at least be able to continue playing with. They looked very good. And also, there's no but this time around. They played well against the run as well. The very good production out there for the defense, but then the offense playing well, and also DeAndre Swift having a really good game. And we'll talk more about DeAndre Swift, where, yet again, another good game where we talked about at the very beginning of the year. The first 3 weeks, everything was on Caleb. And now when you get DeAndre Swift, if we flip over to the stats, DeAndre Swift, 17 carries, 91 yards, 5.4 yards a carry. Very good stats for him out there. And that's the thing. It's the whole piece of you don't want everything to be on Caleb. And when you can get the running game going, aka not less than 2 yards a carry, then you can see Caleb be a lot more comfortable. He can take what's given to him and really kind of run this offense. And also Shane Waldron. Shane Waldron looks very good. Like, it looks like he's getting more comfortable as being a play caller, which you kind of expect, right? Like, when you get a new job, you might stink a little bit out the gate. I mean, he's been doing this for a while, but he's getting acclimated. They had that players meeting, and right now, Bears are looking good. And also, Talking Man, what's good out there? And Shy Jack saying, Brad, the Bears geek. I like that. I don't mind that at all. I like that. And Talking Man saying, those are some tight window throws. Agreed. We saw just the amount of separation some of those receivers were getting, just the tight throws to Keenan Allen. That's a trust in your receiver type of throw that we were seeing him make. And when you're seeing those types of throws, it's like, because when I saw like NFL had the videos of the 4 touchdown passes that Caleb Williams threw, right? Because he threw 226 yards, 23 of 29, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, sacked 3 times. And when you see those 4 touchdown passes, I was expecting, like, you know, as I was kind of going back in my mind, I'm like, I hope that they're not these kind of bad touchdowns that we saw. But ultimately, they were legit touchdowns. The 2 touchdowns to Keenan Allen, you put it in a spot for him to make the play. You had the back shoulder play also to Keenan Allen down the middle. And then you also see the touchdown to Cole Kmet. And 2 touchdowns to Cole Kmet. All those touchdowns were good plays also by Caleb Williams and also good plays by your receivers. And that is freaking awesome. That is what's so great. And now we get to go into the bye week and we get to just have this high, right? So I actually have a couple different things that I'm thinking about to do, but also I might be in a different room because our basement, hopefully, fingers crossed, will be done at the end of the week. We'll see. It might be a 2-week thing. So maybe for the next post game, we'll have a new location that we'll see out here. But so I'm definitely pumped up about that as well as the Bears being great. But let's continue talking. I mean, just overall, I thought that it was a very good play, a very good game, obviously. But let's actually talk a little bit about the inactives because I always like to bring this up. I always like to kind of talk about some of the injuries before we just continue on this high. So some of the inactives, we knew Jaquan Brisker. We didn't break this down, but Tyreek Stevenson being out, Terrell Smith being out, Nate Davis being officially out, which it's like, all right, if you're not going to play him, might as well just leave him out, which did not mind that at all. Just kind of adds to what they think about it. But the reason why I also wanted to talk about the injuries was because of the injuries that happened today. First off, Tevin Jenkins in. We had a big question, is Bill Murray going to be in? But on first glance, I thought that Tevin looked pretty darn good. He didn't look that bad, and we'll break down the offensive line too. Offensive line had a good game. Even though there was the 3 sacks, they played pretty darn well. And we'll talk about that later. But also too, Kyler Gordon goes down with the hamstring injury. We need to look at that. And DJ Moore continues to just be injured during random games. I hope he's actually okay. But obviously he was out for a little bit, came back in towards the end of the game. So it seems like he should be okay, and give him an extra week, should be good. But the Kyler Gordon injury is going to be something to monitor. Now, we said this in the preseason that we felt actually pretty darn good about our backups where you have Blackwell, but Kyler's Kyler. And Kyler had a crazy good game today. This is what Kyler brings, just that explosiveness, that size. He was able to stop the run multiple occasions and just was flying around out there. Blackwell still played well and got an interception, but still, Kyler's Kyler. He has a different atmosphere around him. But also, we'll talk about these backups because I think if we're like talking about the summary of the game, the defensive backups really did come to play. And like I've in my notes, multiple occasions where we have Hicks, where we were saying like, well, what is Elijah Hicks going to do? What about like, Mr. Simone Biles? We were kind of like, he should be out there because he was the starter. They go with Hicks. Hicks breaks up a touchdown pass. Actually, breaks up he breaks up an early touchdown pass and a late touchdown pass and just seemed to be playing very well out there. We'll watch the tape, but first glance, Elijah Hicks was playing well. And that's what was like really nice to see too, just the backups coming in. And that's the difference. And I was hearing someone talk about this because they were talking about the Chicago Bears, and they were talking about the defense and how the Bears defense should not have been like, you typically don't have seasons like you did last season and then just go in and continue the same momentum, because a lot of the Bears' success last year was based off of turnovers, which typically are very inconsistent. And like we've said before, coverage stats are inconsistent, and Jalen Johnson should not be continuously this awesome. But Jalen Johnson has been continuously this awesome. We've been turning the ball over. And they were saying, they're like, you know what that actually points to? It points to the coaching. It points to what Matt Eberflus is doing with this system. And then also you look at the culture as they're making these plays. These people are excited to be there and excited. And like, it seems everyone is elevated up a level. Just awesome, awesome stuff there. So really great things. But yeah, inactives, just look for that. And also the most famous inactive. How have we gone, 10 minutes and not even brought this up? The greatest long snapper of all time, Cole Kmet, goes out there, starts snapping, honestly, great stuff. Just, it was fun to see that. I don't want to see it again, but it was really cool that Cole ends up going out there and had to end up being the long snapper. Another injury to look out for, because we were talking about how I was honestly really surprised at how seamless the new long snapper seemed to kind of fit in with their rotation, because it is muscle memory. It is bang, bang, bang when they kick the field goals. Now, how serious is this injury that our long snapper has? So something definitely to keep an eye out for, because we might be down 2 long snappers. Hey, I'd rather have injuries around the long snapper position than any other position, though, to be honest with you. So we'll definitely check that out and keep you posted. But let's see what y'all are saying out there before we hit up even more offense. Let's see. We got Scottish Bear. What's going on? Saying another 5 touchdowns. Against Washington Commanders are coming on the 27th. That's right. So we have the bye week. Then it's going to be the Commanders. I already see some people, like I saw Mina Kimes say, can we just flex the Bears-Commanders game to prime time? And I think a lot of people actually want that, because it's going to be fun. And also the Commanders, their defense isn't that great against the pass, so you might see a lot of touchdowns. Hopefully they don't score a lot of touchdowns, because, man, that'd be fun. But also, Ray, what's good? Saying Bear down, Packers suck big time. Let's go. F Green Bay claws up. Love that. And he says, we keep playing like this, we'll be in the playoffs. Agreed. Like 4-2, guys. 4-2, ladies and gents. That is good to say. Say it from the mountaintops. Broski saying Bears 6 deep at cornerback, 4 deep at safety. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, my friend. It is a beautiful thing. Bears junkie, what's good too? Bye, we couldn't come better. Scotch Bear echoing too. Hicks did well. And then Taco saying Brisker wouldn't have gave up that touchdown in the corner. Yeah. But hey, Hicks played well. And Bears junkie saying, where's Terrell Smith? Yeah, he's banged up. He's been banged up for a while now. So that's where I forgot what it is. It might be like a forearm or something. I'm blanking off the top of my head, even though we always see the injury report. Yeah, he's been out. Ron, what's good? And also, yeah, some peanut punches were out there. Broski saying Aiden Hutchinson's gruesome injury, yeah, might be out for the rest of the season. Honestly, I hate to see that. I really like Aiden Hutchinson. You know, obviously that helps the Bears, but it's like I hate to see that, because I respect what Aiden Hutchinson does. Like, he's just such a fun player to watch and just seems to love the game. I like him. So yeah, so many turnovers. Yep. So many turnovers. It was great. Hip injury with Smith. All right, thank you for that. And then also Shadrack saying, what are we going to do next Sunday with no Bears? I'll see. We'll definitely have something, because I know for one, for the show, I'm going to talk about our awards, because we've been, for those that are new to the show, we had our preseason award predictions at the very beginning. So I always like to do this during the bye week, just to kind of say, all right, where are we at now? Where is our prediction now? Where did we make some really bad predictions? Are we kind of right where we thought? And just kind of rehash that. Then I was thinking maybe a couple other things about just kind of recapping, where we're at, maybe some Caleb progressions, just to kind of break that down a little bit too. So don't worry, I'll keep you all posted with some fun stuff for sure. But let's talk more about this offense, because I want to go deeper into how Caleb Williams was performing, because with Caleb Williams' performance, like we said, we have the 226 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and then the 3 sacks, 1 interception, quarterback rating of 124.4. Now, currently, as we're recording this show, he also has the second highest QBR according to ESPN Analytics, which, keep in mind, last week had the number 1 QBR. Also, he is the number 1 so far this week in EPA per play, which is at 9.7 EPA. The next highest is 8 by Jordan Love. So suck it, Packers. And also, it's the third highest EPA for 1 week in the last 3 weeks. So pretty good company for our quarterback to be in. Just advanced analytics love him. He had a 7.6 pass EPA, which is currently the highest this week. The next closest is 6.1, and a run EPA of 1.5, which I believe is also the highest. Probably Justin Fields might have a higher one just because he was running a lot today. But we saw him on the ground, and I think running on the ground, which was great to see. Caleb Williams, 4 carries, 56 yards. I really did. That's the way that he should be running. When nothing else is open, he's able to scramble out and he's able to make these good plays. But yet again, he's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Justin Fields. He's not a runner. He's a scrambler. He's always looking to try to make that pass. And it's just like, this is how he's supposed to play. This is how he's supposed to do like his position. And you got to love it. But also too, where are his completions coming from? Well, he had 2.82 time to throw, which yet again, at the very beginning of the season, he was trying to get the ball out. Like he had very small time to throw. Now he's kind of holding on to it a little bit, going through his progressions. Everyone that watched saw like his eyes going through. But anyone that has seen us go through the tape, we know that he does go through some of his progressions. He goes to the first, goes to the second, and he sifts through some of those progressions. So it's great to see other people kind of catch on that he is doing things like this. But also, the game was a little bit more shorter passes. He had 3.5 completion air yards, which over the past weeks, it's been around like 6. So definitely try to attack a little bit shorter. Also, too, his completion percentage over expected, 12.5, which was top 5 in the league. So what that means, he was more accurate than what people were expecting out of him. And also where he was throwing the football, only one pass past 20 yards. Yet again, that's where he's kind of struggled, is that deep pass, which ironically enough was his best throw, in college. Like we always say, only one pass attempt past 20 yards, which went for that interception, which ultimately, I don't know. I want to just say, like, I saw people out there saying that, I saw some people that, prominent people say, what a bad play call by Shane Waldron on 3rd and 1 to call this pass play. And for anybody that believes that, did you see that he was open? Because let's just break this down, right? If I throw you the football and it's perfectly right at your chest and you drop it, whose fault is that? Well, it's not the quarterback's fault. You delivered it perfectly where it needed to go. The wide receiver just dropped it. What happened on that play? Well, the play caller, Shane Waldron, dialed up a play that got a wide receiver wide open, and simply Caleb missed him. Caleb threw it short. It was a bad throw. It was picked off. But honestly, beautiful play call, beautiful design by Shane Waldron, and it would have worked if, as we all know, if Caleb would have just thrown it to the pylon. Bad throw, ends up in a interception. Yet again, rookie mistake. It's those deep passes that really seem to be like, does he have the yips when he's trying to throw it deep? Like, why is it that when he's trying to throw that deep ball, it just looks so different? It looks so awkward. And really, that should have been 6. He should have 5 touchdowns. 6 if you thought that DJ should have been in, which he was short. But it was so darn close, right? Just great stuff all around, but it was a good play call. It was a good play design. It was going to be a touchdown. Caleb just has to make that throw, like plain and simple, right? And just because he didn't make that throw doesn't mean he sucks. It just means he didn't make the throw. Just as simple as that, right? But also, too, when you look at where he was completing it, he was 4 for 4 from 10 to 20, and that was all straight down the middle for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then also short from 0 to 10. He was 4 for 4 going left, 2 of 3 going in the middle, and 6 of 6 to the right-hand side. But also, PFF talked about this a little bit in their little blurb, saying that the Bears were really attacking the sticks. They were really trying to go after the first downs, and they were very, very successful. So let's see. So when throwing beyond the first down marker, he completed 9 of 10 of his passes for 114 yards, and he earned over a 90 grade in PFF's grading system for those throws, which, keep in mind, is elite. So very, very good throwing, very, very good outing for Caleb Williams. Just awesome stuff overall. Like, that's what you want to see. And what's so encouraging is that back to like every single game, he's looking better. He's looking better every single game. And yet again, we'll say this for what? The 5th week in a row? Or 6th week in a row? This is another week where he just, like, when he first came to camp, didn't look great. And now he looks like a quarterback. Now he's going through his reads. He's doing things that we just simply have not seen a Chicago Bears quarterback do. Also, he was kept clean very well, and he also threw very well when he was kept clean. 21 of his 23 clean pocket. He completed 21 of 23 clean pocket throws for 191 yards. So he did very, very well there. But also, how did the pocket hold up? Well, when you look at just the average separation, we always bring this up when we start doing our data deep dives because we always kind of point out how Braxton Jones lets a lot of people right into his lap. He didn't. And I can't wait to break down the tape because it seemed like they had, like what we talked about, keep a blocker, keep a tight end, someone to just chip the guy before it gets to Braxton Jones. Why? Because it's simple momentum. If you just chip him, you throw him off of his game, and then ultimately the tight end just continues running its route. The running back continues running their route. But ultimately, when you look at this, Josh Hines Allen, 4.94 yards on average away from the quarterback. The NFL average is 4.57. So great job by the O-line. Walker was at 4.83. Hamilton was at 4.68. So the only one that was better than NFL average was Eric Armstead at 4.17. So Armstead did well, but ultimately, this is the best chart that we've seen. So kudos to whatever the Bears did. That's why I can't wait to break down the film, because I felt like we started to see some of those chips kind of come in where that helps tremendously. And also, I want to kind of see, why did we give up 3 sacks? Because didn't feel like the pressure was that bad to give up 3 sacks, because 3 sacks is a lot of sacks to give up. So that's something I definitely want to be diving into a little bit more, but I liked it. I really, really liked it. And the last thing I have to bring up, because this is someone that I have dogged. This is someone who I've said he's got to play, and he's done well. DeAndre Swift, again, DeAndre Swift having another great game, 17 carries, 91 yards. And when you look at the advanced metrics, his efficiency rate was 3.39. For those that have listened to this show a lot, bad efficiency grades that he was typically getting was somewhere in the 8s, the 10s, like literally the worst of running efficiency. What that means, he's running east and west. He's not running north and south. Even though that they were running it to the outside, you saw him be very efficient with the way that he was running, finding the hole or seeing there's nothing here and cutting it back, being very efficient with his movements, and also having an average rush yards over expected of 0.88. So almost a full yard over expected. That's great. That's great. Keep in mind, at the beginning of the year, he was averaging around -3 rush yards over expected, like literally terrible. But now Swift is playing well. Swift is this run game is going, right? They bench Nate Davis. They have a conversation about holding people accountable. This is good stuff. They're getting it going. 5.4 yards for DeAndre Swift. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. I want to see Roschon out there. But right now, the way Swift is running, keep feeding him, right? Keep feeding him. But speaking of Roschon, let's talk about the receiving numbers, because Roschon actually made a pretty good reception. 2 catches for 25 yards. DJ Moore, only 4 catches for 20 yards. But also Rome Odunze, 2 for 40. And Keenan Allen having a big game, 5 for 41, finally getting involved, and 2 tutties for the vet. And Cole frickin' Kmet, 5 receptions on 5 targets, 70 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And I also saw his separation numbers. The dude just gets open. He gets open. He's consistently just open. It's great stuff, and he's able to do stuff off the catch. So also, too, what are y'all saying about this? Ron, he's saying he's celebrating. We have our quarterback. Rejoice, Ron, right? This is great stuff. Yeah, screens have been effective. The thing that I liked is they tried the screen early, and it just didn't work, right? There's a lot of man-to-man coverage. Man is good against zone, just because good against some screens, because you have people matched up. They're going to be on him. Boom, right? So also, I liked how they did switch up the plan ultimately. So good stuff. Broski saying he loves Cole Kmet. Agreed. NFL wide open. Love it. And then A-Rod saying Lions restructuring contract. They look ready to move before the trade deadline. Oh, yeah, that'll be interesting. Skokes, what's good, my friend? What a game indeed. Sean Tees, I usually don't like deep plays on 3rd down, but we were in position to go for it on 4th if it was incomplete. Yeah, that's a very good point. Like, we really were. Like, we could have just easily just pounded that. That's a very good point. Because, yeah, like, the whole thing of, like, it was open. Like, it worked, right? And so, yeah, bludgeon in London. I like that. Hutchinson confirmed broken tibia. Wow. Oof. Yeah, that is not good. That's out for the season. Broski's saying it's all about if his nerves and veins heal properly. Yeah. Philip, my friend, what's good? Great game altogether and great win into the bye week. Bear the F down indeed. And then, yeah, Hutch gone for the year. Yeah, finally some work for Keenan Allen, says Dice out there. Agreed. Right? Agreed. It's a beautiful thing because actually Keenan was our X factor. What was my X factor going into the game? Because it's like we haven't seen much of them. And when they're playing man to man, I was hearing people talk about this. The only positive graded wide receiver for the Bears in man coverage was DJ Moore. Rome wasn't. Keenan wasn't. But Keenan knows how to get open. And you saw that, right? You can just, and that's the beauty of it. He's not like wide open. But if you understand how the vet is going to play, he knows how to catch the ball. He's been here. He knows how to make these plays. And it was just really nice to say, okay, it looks like him and Keenan, they're starting to get something together. Him and Rome look like they have something together. Him and Cole, right? We see that. The touchdown pass to Cole, he looks left, he looks right, he looks down the middle. And awesome stuff, right? Screen, tight end down the middle. Great stuff. He did that actually with the Seahawks as well. But that's some of that like innovative design that Waldron does bring. And also too, something that we didn't talk about in the preview, I was expecting a little bit more because, I want more, everybody. I want more. Shane Waldron is finally scripting his plays, which he wasn't doing for the first 5 weeks, which is what Stacey Dales was reporting, which is really ironic because any Seahawks fan will tell you that they felt that the only time that they would score was on those scripted plays. So it's nice to know, like, hey, they weren't scripting it. So we have a lot. We can still get better, ladies and gentlemen. We can still get better with this offense. It's really, really cool stuff for sure. So, and actually, I even have my notes. What was bugging me was we weren't attacking. We should be attacking them, which it felt like we were doing later on, which really, really, really liked. But let's talk. Yeah, and then Taco saying, were those forced passes? I wouldn't necessarily say. I'd say that it's more like it felt like he knew when he was going to make the move, right? He made the move, threw it to him with a lot of fades. A lot of fades are, I guess you could say, forced passes where you're lobbing it up and you're like, all right, you got it. Boop. And then you try to throw it out there. Hopefully they can catch it. So it's more like a design like, hey, I'm going to give it to you as long as I'm just going to trust you with that. But, Caleb put it in the right spot. We saw at the very beginning of the year, it wasn't even close. So it was nice to see it in a good spot for him to be able to make those plays. But yeah, the back shoulder to Keenan down the middle, that is a beautiful throw, beautiful catch. That's just good football, ladies and gentlemen. That is good football. But let's talk a little bit about this defense and see if they actually had some good football that was played. Because when we look at the overall defensive performance, we look at the passing game. We allowed Trevor Lawrence to throw for 234 passing yards, which isn't great, isn't bad. He threw for 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, was sacked 3 times, and Mac Jones sacked 1 time. But on the rushing attack, this is what makes me happy. We saw 20 carries and 68 yards, an average of 3.4 yards a carry. Now, Dearness Johnson averaged 4.7, but that was kind of in garbage time. Bears were playing deep, so ultimately they were picking up their yards then. But Travis Etienne, 3 carries, -1 yards. But also this highlights the importance of the Bears trying to get out to an early lead, attacking and trying to get this early lead so that your defense doesn't get attacked by the run, because we've seen that's kind of the weakness. So your passing defense, that's what was really good. But to be able to do this without your starting safety, with your 3rd string outside corner, and then also Kyler Gordon going down early, great stuff for this defense. But Evan Ingram did dice them up for 102 yards. Other than that, Brian Thomas only 27 yards. Yet again, Jalen Johnson is pretty freaking good. Gabe Davis, they had to get involved. 5 catches, 45 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Christian Kirk held to only 3 catches for 39 yards. But yet again, this defense looked very good. Josh Blackwell with the only interception out there. But when you look at the other defensive stats, Jalen Jones leads the team with 10 tackles, Kyler with 7, Byard with 7, and TJ Edwards with 7 as well, which is crazy to say because the defense played well when they were going against the run, but obviously they were trying to win through the air, so the corners and safeties were getting tackles. But also, this is another week that I'm thankful that we have Kevin Byard. I like the signing. I did not expect it to be this good. Byard is playing phenomenal football. And we saw it with the tip in the end zone, but also there was a couple passes that I think get taken for granted where I believe it was ETN. It was thrown to him on the right-hand side. Ball goes to him. And then here's Kevin Byard flying down, tackling, and getting him down at the line of scrimmage. Beautiful play for a safety to bring down an elusive runner in the open field one-on-one. Great play by Kevin Byard. And really, when you have that confident veteran presence, now that's not like an Eddie Jackson. I loved Eddie Jackson as a Bear, but he just wasn't it anymore. And now you have Kevin Byard, who's it. He's playing great, playing all over the field. Great stuff. And yeah, that's what we're saying. Like, Broski's agreeing, Tacos is agreeing. Like, it's good stuff that we're seeing out of Kevin Byard. And I just wanted to take a little time and just appreciate how good Kevin Byard really has been playing for this Bears team. And it helps out your younger safeties like an Elijah Hicks, who yet again equally had a very, very good and impressive game to step up. And now Brisker can hopefully nurse back from that concussion and be able to play. But really just great play by Hicks. Great play by Byard. The safeties really held their own. And also Jalen Jones, I didn't hear too much out of him, right? You didn't hear much about him giving up these big plays, but the tape will kind of distinguish that. But I thought they played very well. I thought the D-line played well. Montez Sweat was actually getting active. He was around the ball carrier. And I actually had a bet to, did over a half a sack, but ultimately he was in on 2, but they only gave him a half. But Montez was all out there. Montez was looking good. And also, I just felt like the team defense played very well. Same thing with Kyler Gordon making multiple run stops, just flying in, blowing it up. Great defense all around. I'm trying to find out other things that I wanted to just jot down too. But another piece too that we just have to keep emphasizing just how good this is coaching. It's something that the Bears have practiced. When they were in the red zone, they got a false start. And how did they get the false start? Like, our defense causes false starts because they're at the line and then they do that move, and then they move. And right when they move, then the offensive line freaks out a little bit. And this has happened, like 3 times or so. We've gotten some false starts. So, I mean, anything to win, any additional little 5 yards makes that. But great play by the defense, just good stuff all around. And also, how could we also exclude just the penalties? The Jacksonville Jaguars, because I see out there, I agree with Dice, the coaching is hurting them out there in Jacksonville, and just really you're seeing the lack of discipline. I'm trying to pull up the actual penalty yards that they had because their penalties killed that team today. Let me just see what I got out here. Search for penalties. Here we go. First down. We had 3 first downs from penalties. Oh, they only had 8 penalties. I thought it felt like a lot more. Maybe it was just in the second half. 8 penalties for 43 yards. We only had 2 for 10 yards. So great, clean football that we had. Now, Caleb Williams threw 1 interception, but hey, stuff's going to happen. Get better. I don't know why the deep ball is not working. We got to figure something out with that. But just great all-around team effort. Love it. But let's see. Also, Shy Jackson, shout out to Johnny PayPal. Miss him. Yeah. And then also Broski, shout out to Brad Venmo. Yeah. I'll see if PayPal can hop on. I've told him to hop in the chat once in a while, so I might just pick on him again. So we'll see for sure. Also, Dice saying Kevin Byard PFF like 86, good comeback here. Yeah, he's like the top 5 for PFF grades. Now after this game, I think he's definitely I think his grade's definitely going to be a lot higher for sure. And Kevin, what's good? Bear it down, baby. Isn't that feeling good? But also A-Rod saying Caleb Williams already better than Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. I wouldn't say that, but I was thinking this because right after that game, I was just watching Red Zone all day. Just for those that don't have Red Zone, it is so beautiful. And for those that haven't experienced the greatness that is Red Zone, it is amazing. Actually, I told y'all I'm getting my basement done. I'm going to have one TV. I have two TVs in the basement is what we're going to go with. One for the actual Bears game and then one off to the side that has Red Zone going. So it's going to be awesome. We're going to have a little bar in there. It's going to be a good time. When it's all set up, I'll send out pictures or something so y'all can see. But yeah, but no, Red Zone was great, but where was I going with this? Pittsburgh. So I was watching the Pittsburgh game and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, he's better than what, like, because I know a lot of people are saying, what if we had Justin? What if we had Justin? Well, seeing Justin, you're not seeing this type of passing offense. And I think that's the thing that is really awesome to see. And I hate comparing our current girlfriend to our ex, right? I hate doing that, but it's something that gets brought up a lot. And I think when you see them play, you really do see just how good Caleb is and how good of a just natural passer Caleb is. It's like, it's really, really exciting stuff. But also I forgot to bring this up just with the defensive line. Defensive line really didn't create as much pressure as I would have liked. Now, when we look at this, let me just move my face over here. Montez Sweat had the best, which was 4.14 yards of separation on average away from the quarterback. Yet again, league average about 4.5. And then Walker basically tied him at 4.15. And Dexter, 4.31. So all good there. Taylor, yeah, I didn't see as dominant as a game from Taylor as we normally did. Yet again, backup edge rusher. But he had 5 yards of separation from the quarterback on average. So yeah, not as great as we normally see out of our boy Taylor, but yeah. So I really do love what we're seeing out of Caleb, man. It is just it's such a good time to be a Bears fan, ladies and gentlemen. And speaking of why it's great to be a Bears fan, the special teams review. We have to break down the special teams and the special teams. The biggest thing, first off, Cole Kmet, like we've already talked about. Cole Kmet, absolutely crazy. Just being able to snap the ball, great stuff. Like they were saying, he practices this on Thursdays. So as the backup snapper, that's what he's supposed to do. And hey, he didn't mess up. And also kudos to the offense. It was like they were thinking, yeah, we don't want him to snap another punt. And after that, 0 punts after the injury to the long snapper. But Torrey Taylor, before that, was having a great game. And with that, averaged 61.5 yards of punt. Absolute 2 boots, booted it into the 20-yard line, but then they were able to bring it out. Great stuff. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. And the thing that I love too is these are international fans. That some of these international fans, they don't have direct allegiance, or it's teams that they like that they want to just kind of hitch their wagon to. And just like in the US, there's bandwagon fans. And man, I hope that we have some people in the UK right now joining the Bears bandwagon. Excellent punts, excellent quarterback, excellent defense, excellent play out there for our Chicago Bears. So that's what was beautiful. I mean, Cairo did actually get his first ever field goal blocked, or first missed field goal, I believe, on the year, but 5 completed extra points. And still, Cairo's doing well. And I think that's something that's just nice, that we don't have to worry about what our kicker is doing, because, yeah, we don't have to worry about the whole Cody Parkey situation and other things like that going on. And how dare I say his name? I just need to say the kicker that shall not be named, or something like that, right? So let's see what else is out there too. Yeah, Bussy can't do what we do. That's exactly right. Michael, what's good? Saying I just hope Fields plays well enough that we can get. Yeah, exact 100%, Michael. I hope he can play 51% of the snaps so we can get the 4th round pick. But also look who's out there. Blake. So for those that don't know, Johnny PayPal is actually Blake. So Johnny PayPal is actually out here indeed. What is good, Blake? We'll probably be hanging out, I think, right after this ends. So nice to see you out there in the comments. Nice to see that you're getting shout outs there too. See, You can always hop on whenever you want, Mr. PayPal, whenever you want. I know some people out there listening are probably nodding their heads too, like, yeah, get PayPal on for another show or something to break some stuff down. I sold your mic, but, you know. But let's see. So let's continue going on to the last segment, the most valuable bear, the MVB out there. Now, most valuable bear, I think that there's a couple people that we can break down for this. So, for one, originally, as we're watching this game, in the first quarter, I'm going, this is Cole Kmet. And I want to just, he's the nominee right now, because Cole Kmet's the nominee, because dude goes for 5 catches for 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. And also, let's just, the way the man runs is the way that every Bears fan wishes that we could run, where he's just plowing people over. Like, that is the heart of someone who has never seen a 4,000-yard passer. Like, that is what we do. Just freaking stiff arm people down, truck people. That's what goes on. That's what happens out there. Excellent play by Cole. That's where, to me, I feel like Cole was able to do that. He filled in for the long snapper. So I'm like, yes. But then, you know, I just want to throw out other people too. DeAndre Swift with his 17 carries, 91 yards on the ground, a touchdown, and also 4 catches for 28 yards. Great stuff. 19 yards was the big one. He's able to make these big plays. One of my friends who's a Lions fan goes, man, Swift is special when he's got space. When he's got that opening, he really is good. He really has, like, as long as he's got that space, looking good. But as a runner, looking good too. Now we're not seeing Roschon Johnson. Remember, 3-4 weeks ago, we were saying that, like, they were saying that, hey, it looks like Roschon's going to get more carries. Roschon's going to turn up the heat. Competition is good. You turn up the competition, and bad performers either have to put up or shut up. He's been putting up. He's been doing well. And we said, this is a good run defense. This is not a slouch like some of the other ones. He was putting up these gaudy numbers. Excellent, excellent stuff. And obviously Caleb, for the way that Caleb was playing and just continues to play. And then on the defense, Kyler Gordon is a nominee. I love the way that he was flying out there, making some plays, just things of beauty. And Montez was also kind of wrecking havoc as well. And I just want to give some love because Javon is at the very bottom of the tackle list. Javon Dexter also just looks good, right? Just continues to play well, and Walker continues to play well as a defensive tackle. But also, I got to give it to him, right? I'm looking out there too. Broski saying Kmet by far. He had to fill in as the long snapper. And yeah, angry runs, Bears bones. My friend, what's going on? Say Kmet should win this week's angry runs. Yeah. And I saw Kyle Brandt out there was like, yeah, he might be out there. That double fake by Caleb and throw to Cole for the touchdown was awesome, says Kevin. Yeah, I agree. Easy. Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet is the most valuable Bear. And the way that you're able to fill in for long snapper, like you catch a touchdown by like throwing 2 people off, 2 dudes off of you, and then you slam the ball down and make sure you go across the goal line, and then you get back up, and then you snap the football. Beautiful. Awesome stuff that we saw out there from Cole Kmet. He's our most valuable Bear. And also, we haven't even talked about the second touchdown pass that we had, where I thought that was a beautiful pass by Caleb. And I think a lot of people, because it's in the back of the end zone, they don't realize how challenging and how much touch has to be thrown on that ball. Because if you look at it, the defender is kind of in between Cole, who's going behind, and then you have the running back. I believe it was the running back, like up front. Caleb has to put a beautiful touch on that ball to put it where it went. Just awesome throw by Caleb. Great catch by Cole. Great stuff all around. But also, honestly, I could talk about this game forever, and that's why we're going to break it down tomorrow. So I hope to see you all out there on YouTube. Like and subscribe if you're out there. Hit the notification bell. We'll be going live probably sometime around 7, maybe like 7:15 Central Time. And then, like I said, this week, we're going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to split it up into 2 separate shows, 2 separate live shows, offense and then defense, so that people can just, you can watch whatever you want. So when everyone's on the offense, we'll go over to the defensive side, and just so that we have 2 separate little pieces, because yeah, I know some people only want to see the offense and some people want to see the defense, you know, even though it's less popular. They want to see it, but they don't want to just like skip hours through. So, But yeah, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe out there. But with that, Unbearable Sports Podcast, we are out.
Yeah, she's got some nice long hair and